What is up, everybody? Michael here today, and we doing "Could You Spend $1 Trillion" by J Pockets or Jack Pockets. I'd rather J Pockets. That's probably a better name. Now, could I spend $1 trillion in today's age? Yeah, for sure. I'll probably start out with the space stations, like SpaceX and all that. I could probably spend that money. I mean, Elon got like half of that already, worth like 400 billion. Yeah, man. And then I'll probably go buy an Apple, right? You buy in Microsoft, you buy all of them, you probably reach a trillion real quick.
You just got $1 trillion.
1 trillion.
Not a million, not a billion,
A
a
trillion.
trillion.
Oh, you know what is a
But
trillion
there's a
dollars?
catch. You need to spend all of it in the next 24 hours, or you lose everything. This should be easy. First, you need a new car. Go to your
24.
local
Oh, that's
exotic
the hardest
dealership and
part.
buy yourself a Lambo, and a Ferrari, and a McLaren. You know
Too
what?
late,
Just
bro.
buy up the entire dealership. Now, you have the $12 million garage of your dreams. But there's
Yeah.
one small problem. In order to spend $1 trillion in 24 hours, you would need to buy out that entire dealership every single second. You need to think bigger. Let's
I didn't
hire
know the
100 people
24
to
hours
track
part,
down the
though.
100
Maybe I
most
didn't read it.
expensive yachts and buy them for us. And let's
Boom.
throw in $1 million
Boom.
bonus for each mercenary. That'll be around a $40 billion check, but let's also buy the biggest cruise ship of
Wow.
all time for $2 billion and fill it up to maximum capacity, paying for everyone's tickets and tossing in a Rolex too. Let's make use of this ship's basketball court by buying up every single NBA
Frick.
team and having them battle it out. Then let's get Snoop Dogg, Katy Perry,
Whoa,
Justin
this
Bieber, and
is
Beyonce
crazy,
to perform
bro.
for us before sending them off to the International Space Station on a SpaceX rocket that costs $55 million per passenger. Now that you're hanging with rich people, you need a status symbol. You could buy the world's most expensive art piece for $500 million, but why would you do that when you could just buy the entire Metropolitan Museum of Art for $100 billion, and then we could go over to... Transaction failed. There's no way we're already out of money. Yeah, we still have $800 billion. The Metropolitan Museum is an educational institution whose assets are held for the public benefit and are not owned by... You know what?
Technicalities.
Forget about the
Whatever.
Met.
Right?
The entirety of New York City is worth around 1.3 trillion.
And then you can spend that easy.
33,210 vacant units available, so let's hire 33,000 people to snatch those up for us, and of course throw in a 100K commission. But here's something you need to think about. The most expensive real estate purchase in US history was this $240 million concrete brick. That might
Wow.
sound like a lot of money, but you spending $240 million is like an average person spending $60. I think instead of buying
crazy,
houses,
bro.
you should build a mega project. The sky is truly your limit. You can build your project wherever you want. If there's people in the way, buy them out with your pocket change. Or
These
maybe try
these
the
prices
Saudi
seem
Arabia
so
method
little
and
compared to a
relocate them
trillion.
into a graveyard. Actually, I think the Middle East is exactly where we need to go. So let's buy one Gulfstream G650 for each day of the year and fly across the world.
It's crazy, bro.
Welcome to the
Hold on,
Arabian
pause.
Peninsula.
I was just about to talk this. I'll talk about this. Isn't the Saudis or somebody that's supposed to be building this big railway? Well, basically building a city in the middle of the desert. Well, I don't know. It's kind of futuristic and whatnot. That should take up at least a good bit of the budget if you just take that over. Uh, Actually, you should just go to the Middle East. They'll find a way to spend that trillion in a cool minute. Please.
Where people will build literally anything. The world's biggest picture frame, the world's largest clock, the massivest cube, the tallest structure ever, man-made sinking islands shaped
Yeah.
after the world map from memory. These
Wow.
are cool. Let's build an
That is
even
cool.
bigger artificial island for 20 billion. Of course, we can't forget about labor cost, so for that, let's budget in $10. Then let's buy every single one of those mega projects I just showed you for a total donation of $101,292,000,000 and $10 to our
I'm
Middle
pretty
East
sure you can
boys.
find something more expensive
But
there.
while
bro.
you're here, take a look at the Burj Khalifa, the current tallest building in the world. If you were to stack $1 bills to the very top, the tower would be worth $7.58 million. You still
Wow.
need to spend 87,000 times that. A stack so high it would go past the International Space Station. If you ever want to spend this money, you
ridiculous,
need to
bro.
stop thinking in real estate and start thinking in 51st state. Do you see where I'm going with this? Buy a country. In 2010, the country of
That
Liechtenstein
too.
put itself on Airbnb at 70 grand a night. This is literally nothing. You can't be looking at countries hoeing themselves out for pennies. You need the ultimate prize. Somewhere cooler.
What's this, Greenland?
Somewhere strategic.
Iceland?
Let's buy Greenland. Based on the market
Greenland
price of
is.
its mineral reserves, the world's biggest island has a price tag of around 200 billion. We can afford
That is not
but
an
there's
island,
one
bro. Who
small
made that an
thing in our
island?
way. During Trump's first term, when he proposed the conquest of Greenland, the country dismissed the idea as completely ridiculous and firmly stated that Greenland is not for sale. Huh. Let's buy an F-35 for $80 million. Fuck it. 2 F-35s. 3.
Come on, bro. You need to be thinking bigger, bro.
3 destroyer ships,
That's
1
what I'm saying.
ballistic missile submarine, 57,000 Blackwater soldiers, 1 for every citizen of Greenland. Now we have a $50 billion makeshift military, and it looks like Greenland's for sale after all. But by this point in your trillionaire spending spree, people are starting to take notice.
got 400
Your
billion
exploits
left.
might not have hit TikTok yet, but rumblings are beginning behind closed governmental doors. Luckily for you, there's not much politicians can say once you own them. Buy a politician. We got Trump here for $1.5 billion. Kamala is almost $2 billion, but you do get a free
Kamala's
Joe
$2
Biden.
billion?
Let's buy up both of those and every sitting member of the Senate and House for a grand
Interesting.
total of $7.2 billion for the entirety of American politics. This is a great deal, but there's a catch.
How you gonna buy
Money
SpaceX?
influences politics, but it doesn't always decide it. I mean, look at the presidential race. Democrats outspent Republicans and still lost because
I thought
$2 billion
Kamala was worth like
can't
$2
buy
billion.
oil.
I was
More
like, what?
recently, Elon dropped millions of dollars campaigning for an election in Wisconsin, only to find out that shit no longer works when everyone hates you. Even BlackRock doesn't always get what they want. $1 trillion gives you access to almost everything. But culture and public perception are things that are not for sale. Just kidding. Let's buy every single media company. Washington Post, Time Magazine, The New York Times, Comcast, Fox. Global ad spend for an entire year is around $1 trillion. That averages to $3 billion a day. So let's run 1 week straight of propaganda and we should be good. But if you're still getting heat, there's one final method you can use.
I
A
don't feel
donation
like-
a day keeps the guillotine away. It's time for philanthropy. There are a lot of causes
Oh,
to
so
choose
it's basically
from,
stuff
but you
on
should
sale,
start off with the people
I
most
guess.
in need. The U.S. government. America is currently $36 trillion broker than a homeless person. That number is
Yeah.
increasing by $2 trillion a year. Luckily, we now have you. $220 billion honestly isn't gonna do much, but it's definitely gonna help. Assuming, of course, that the US government efficiently manages a $250 billion cash injection. You might be wondering how you're gonna send the money. And the answer is pay.gov, an official website where you can make donations to the US government to reduce
the
the
US
public debt.
man,
So
the
let's
day
just
I ever
enter
do
your
that.
$220 billion right here and... Well, turns out the maximum amount the Treasury accepts is only $1 million. You just bought the government a
crazy.
bag of screws from Lockheed Martin. Maybe your money will put a bigger dent into medical debt. See, unlike the government, broke people dying of cancer aren't allowed to print more money to pay off their crippling obligations. Instead, their unpaid
Yep,
debts get
sure
sold off to
ain't.
collections for pennies on the dollar. But because of this discount, charities like Undo Medical Debt can erase $100 worth of debt for every $1 donation they receive. And with that ratio, you could wipe out all the medical debt in the US for just $2.2 billion. But what about world hunger? The UN estimated it would take $40 billion each year to end world hunger by 2030. We
Which
could
don't
afford
even
that.
sound
Next,
crazy
how
if
about
you
we
ask
help
me.
out malnourished and starving college students? Student loan debt in the US totals $1.777 trillion, with the government loaning out $87.2 billion a year. But before we try to attack this, there's a slight problem. Once universities catch wind that Trillionaire Jesus is bailing out their victims, they'll probably just jack up their prices. On top of that,
Pretty
paying
much.
off loans might be seen as unfair to older generations who had to pay their way through college and pick
Yeah, I
themselves
don't
up by their
care.
bootstraps. Turns out
What you say, it's
philanthropy
unfair?
isn't as easy as it seems.
It's not easy. Building Amazon was not easy. Philanthropy is very similar. It's really hard.
I agree with Jeff here. Let's just buy another $500 million yacht.
Jeff, please, bro.
That's enough philanthropy for today. You still have $60 billion left, and I think I know how to spend it. It might be
Please tell me.
semi-cheap,
You making this
but
way
hear
more
me out.
complicated, bro.
37% of Americans can't afford an unexpected purchase over $400. Being a trillionaire, your passive income earns you $400 every 0.126 seconds. The median net worth under 35 is $39,000. As a trillionaire, you could exchange your toilet paper with rolls of $39,000 bills for your entire lifetime and it wouldn't put a dent in your finances. $1 trillion gives you horizons
Crazy,
incomprehensible
bro.
to the normal paycheck-to-paycheck living human.
Like, Elon got
Even
like
after
half
your
of that. I know
spending
that's his
spree,
net
you
worth,
still
but
have
still,
so
bro.
much money left that it gives you too many options. You could launch space programs, clean up the ocean, fund institutions. 24 hours just isn't enough time for this much fun. So let's buy more time. Make yourself a trust and safely store your money in it. Now, all of those humanity shifting endeavors, you can sleep on them, on the world's most expensive bed.
I guess, but I don't understand. Hey, it's cool. That's it. Anyway, that was could you spend $1 trillion in a day? I just thought that he made it way more complicated than it needed to be. If you ask me, if Elon got like half of that, I'm pretty sure that I could find a way to spend $1 trillion. The only tricky part though is the 24 hours. I didn't know that. You go to the Middle East, I'm pretty sure they can find a way to spend $1 trillion. You talk to Jeff, Elon, one of those. Yeah, $1 trillion. Oh, nah, we got you. Anyway, guys, if you want me to react to more stuff, comment down below, and I will get to them as soon as possible. It's Michael. Bye.